we have Eric Kelly. Hi, Eric.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
My
Okay, a
pleasure.
little bit about Eric. Eric grew up around real estate investing and now leads a high performance team in Phoenix, Arizona. Eric's passion is inspiring others to create a legacy vision and action plan to live a meaningful life. Great. So welcome.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here.
You too. So Eric, we got connected on a panel of some of the top realtors in the nation, and you were actually moderator of the panel, and that was always, it's very exciting whenever I get to sit on those panels. So it's nice connecting with you and other successful agents. So today, and this goes by quick, so we kind of run into it.
Right.
The question of the hour: new realtors.
Yes.
What should they be doing to have a successful first year as a team leader? And then, of course, you're a veteran in the industry. You grew up in the industry. What are you seeing that the successful new agents out there, what are they doing differently than those that maybe get one transaction?
Yeah, well, I think, Chris, the key is you have to get into action. You have to have disciplined action in your business and things that you're doing literally on a daily basis with consistency. I think the process of real estate, like the evolution of a real estate agent, starts with traction. And getting traction is just getting some deals done, getting a couple deals in escrow. And then you move to momentum. And momentum is when you're consistently maybe putting a couple deals a month in escrow and you've got some flow to your business, and you reach a point where if you have a month with no closings, you're not at risk of being taken out of the business because you have enough consistency at that point and the flow of momentum. And then you get to sustainability. And then ultimately, that's where you get to success in real estate. So I think the traction part, most of that word is made up of the word action. I think that's the key. Like, you got to get moving, and you got to get up every single day and get to work.
And the beginning part of that action, or that momentum, that movement, is that very, very, very first and second deal. I mean, getting a rocket getting off the ground, I mean, it takes a ton of energy to get it off the ground, but then it gets easier, and it goes faster and faster. Same thing with an agent. Like, they do that first lease, the first buyer client listing.
Right.
Like, it's that one, I think it's the confidence that they get. They realize that, one, they can do it. Or two, they do know stuff. They can be of value, and it ends up being like rocket fuel if you can get it quickly. Got to get it quickly, though.
Oh, man, absolutely. I agree. And you said the word confidence, and confidence comes from being around it. Confidence comes from conversations. So the more conversations you can be in, the more confident that you're going to become. And especially in the market that we're in right now, in a lot of areas around the United States, Phoenix, for example, is a super competitive market. Our inventory right now is less than 10% of what it was in 2009. So that was, a dozen years ago, we had 60,000 active listings. This is a market that typically closes 100,000 transactions a year. There's like less than 5,000 active listings right now. So this is a skills-based market. It doesn't mean that there's not business out there, but we've got to be in those conversations day after day, and we become the solution strategist for our clients. And we ask the right questions and ask enough questions that we get an understanding of their vision. What do they ultimately want to accomplish? What are they afraid of? What are they concerned about? What's still ambiguous to them in the process? And we just solve those for them.
And with that inventory, because everyone has that problem, no matter what marketplace you're in, you have some degree of that problem. And COVID actually just made that problem worse. Like, it was bad. It was bad before COVID. COVID like probably doubled it.
Right. Yeah.
How does, because becoming an agent, you can be your solopreneur, individual agent out there doing it on your own. You can join a team. And you're a team leader.
Yep.
There are pros and cons to both. But for the new agent, especially one looking for mentorship and guidance, because when you take your exam, all that does is keep you out of like jail.
Right.
It doesn't teach you anything about like street knowledge. What conversations do you have with new agents that are contemplating, should they go with a team, or should they just hook up with a mentor and go solo?
I think it really depends on their level of business acumen, their level of hunger, and how clear they are on their vision of real estate. Almost every single agent that I meet with that has been in the industry for, say, 6 months, I always ask them the question, is it different than you thought it would be before you got into it? And the answer is always yes. And so, for the folks that we work with, whether we're mentoring or they're team members with us, I encourage them to pick one role, one discipline, and kind of go all in on that in the beginning. So, if you're a solopreneur, that might just be having conversations. It might be making your top 100 list of your sphere and just, getting in communication and having 5 or 10 conversations a day just to stay connected. With the agents that come onto our team, they start out as showing partners. So the only thing they're focused on getting good at is the process of showing homes to prospective buyers, the process of communicating with agents. And then over time, we move them into the full spectrum of things that you need to do to be a successful agent, because it's a lot. And so, I think the team is a great way to go for new agents, at least for a year, just to learn and take the pressure off and get some deal flow happening.
Yeah, and a team, it can mean a lot of different things. I mean, you've got your mega teams, and I'm not sure exactly what your team size is, but you can have your teams of 5, 7, 10 agents, and they're doing 50, 100 million plus a year. And then you have your smaller, more intimate teams that maybe it's one successful veteran agent and they've got a couple agents on the team. They just work very closely together. But regardless, there's still a lot of value, because ultimately what you're doing, it's like if you want to start and scale a $1 billion business, do you do that on your own? Maybe you can. Or do you want to go work for Jeff Bezos for a little while?
Right.
Or Elon Musk? I don't know if that directly translates here, but there's still value in attaching yourself to success and then making decisions on year 2, 3, 4, or whatever.
Well, there's the expression success leaves clues. And what that means is there's models and systems and strategies around success, and there's a pattern, and there's a roadmap for us to follow. And I think one of the biggest hindrances to productivity in any of our lives is fragmented focus, especially in the day and age that we live in now, where there's constant notifications and distraction. And for the first time in human history, the average person in the United States is exposed to more information than the brain has the ability to process effectively on a daily basis.
7 seconds. That's all you got. You got 7 seconds.
So we need to focus on developing, some very specific skill sets, I believe, and keep that focus narrow, master that, build momentum in that, and then kind of expand. And this is such a social business, but it's also one of the loneliest professions on earth, because a lot of the work that you do to learn and to research and to be informed about the market and to up your skill set as an agent and a communicator, that's all done on your own. And so I think the connection with our community and the people around us, the people we're learning from and growing with is critically important.
Is there any tactical suggestions you have on a prospecting or even marketing standpoint that you have? So say that the agents, they've got the momentum now. Maybe they're in year like month 9, 12, 18, and now they're really starting to spread their wings, whether it's on the team or individually. Is there anything tactically that you found that maybe 102, 103 level agent start to really gain some faster momentum?
Well, I think, I think perception's reality. So we all have the ability to leverage social media as a form of connection. And I think what we want to balance there is kind of personal character or likability or just the interestingness of life as a human being. Like, I'm out hiking today, I'm at the lake, I'm doing this, those type of connection points that we all relate to like we would in a friendship. And then we have to convey professional competency and, the ability to showcase houses across a brokerage where you can advertise anything across your entire state is amazing. I think the video walkthroughs are really cool. That's actually something that you mentioned, the panels. I wrote that down a few weeks ago on a panel, and I was out with clients and walked through these houses, and I got more engagement and interaction and inquiries and
it's crazy, right?
Yeah, just touring the house, not even really the commentary. It wasn't a polished video. It was just walking through this beautiful model home. And so I think everybody can do things like that are engaging. The other thing I would say is stories sell. A monkey could sell a house right now in 3 days with multiple offers over list price in almost any market across the United States. So that doesn't really play in the consumer's mind. I think we have to learn to speak consumer, not realtor. And what relates to consumers is hearing people's stories. Like, this is the journey this couple went on to buy their first home. These are my friends, blah, 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 that I've known for years that were able to just buy their dream home. Like, that type of stuff is what's most relatable. So I think communicating that. Yeah,
and kind of like the last 30 seconds, this like ridiculously hot market from a listing agent standpoint, at least, it's probably going to make a lot of agents lazy, and they'll forget the fundamentals. Right. The fundamentals that over time are going to, like, if you're a brand new agent and you just happen to have some influence and you can get off the ground quickly, like if you're not still paying attention to the fundamentals, when that subsides, who knows when, like, you might find life a little harder. But those that actually focus on the fundamentals, and Ricky Carruth was talking about this last month, like when you focus on the fundamentals and you do this day in, day out, like, you're looking, when this inventory, like, we get more inventory down the line, whenever that is, like, you're looking at a windfall for your business. Like, oh, absolutely. Yeah. And we're not shortcutting now. We're still doing staging consultations. We're making sure the home's professionally clean. We're doing, full spectrum of photography. We're not doing iPhone photos. We all see those listings, right? To your point, not only fundamentally, that pains me, shortcutting the process, but we're still doing all those things because it's about the relationship and it's about the value you create in the relationship and the experience for our clients. And there's no shortcut to that. Yeah, that pains me. The iPhone photos, or the ones I see somewhere, like, there's actually someone in the image too. Right. But or the finger and part of the picture. Oh God. Yeah. I don't know where the self-awareness drops off there. So, all right. Hey, thanks so much, Eric. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Eric.
My pleasure. Great to be with you guys today.
Good talk.
Thanks so much.
You too.